Hello guys, it's Ivan here checking in, and as always, first things first, hope you guys are awesome. One of Jim Rohn's greatest quotes, in my opinion, is goes along the lines of your personal philosophy is the greatest determining factor in how your life works out. Now, when I first caught wind of this, obviously, like most of you guys may think, it's rather interesting, but I never really resonated with it that much until today. Now, I'm saying today because last night while I was hustling at work, I listened to this epic rant that I downloaded on my phone by Julian Blanc, who, by the way, is a dating coach and RSD, and I will put a link in the description below. Click on that link, go check it out, because he goes deeper in detail on this. He even gives you a bunch of questions to actually become self-aware and, tackle the problem with the most appropriate approach, which is inside out, right? And anyway, so first of all, let's first acknowledge that we all live on the same planet, but we all live in different worlds, because obviously we all have a different outlook towards life, right? Which again, obviously, it's hugely inspired by the environment within which we're raised up, the schools we go to, the families we were raised up in, all of these things, these little bits that chip into, inspire our outlook towards life, and thereby our personal philosophy towards life. Now, as far as our personal philosophy goes, and why it matters a lot, which it definitely does matter a lot, we in our personal philosophy, we all know how much we deserve, how much we think we deserve, which again is also hugely influenced. How much we think we deserve is hugely influenced by how we judge, or how we see, understand, and judge ourselves. Within our personal philosophy, we think we know how much we deserve, in all around, in all different parts of our lives, whether that be in our dating life or how much money we make or whatever. And this usually results in, and this is not to say that you cannot get more than you think you deserve. By the way, it can be an unconscious thing. It can be something you don't really think about very often. And when you actually first hear this, you might think that's not true, or it may not be true or whatever, but it's actually really true, because the only problem is it can be a bit vague or a little bit distant for you, or you may not understand it right away, because it's an unconscious thing that happens unconsciously. But on the basic level, what I mean by we all know a certain, we all know, or rather we think we deserve a certain amount of something, whether that be money or a certain quality of dates, a certain quality of life, or whatever, to which if we surpass, and it's by the way, it's not to say that we cannot surpass it, because obviously through sheer will and persistence we can surpass it, but through which, after we surpass it, we will get to a point where obviously after that progression comes the recession, because obviously, just like everything in life, with progression comes recessions, with light comes dark, with great power comes great responsibility. So anyway, with that progression of surpassing what you may think you deserve, comes the recession, which is basically self-sabotage. Because when everything's going well, for example, if you think you deserve maybe at most maybe 5 grand, or maybe even 10 grand, and then you're fond of playing the lottery, whatever, and you win millions. Some of these people who win millions end up self-sabotaging and wasting all their money and ending up where they started. Because why? Everything was going great, and they had all this money, but because they're not used to having this money, or they feel like they don't deserve this much money, they'll find plausible excuses. Unconsciously, they'll find plausible. You know how unconsciously, when when it's something that's out of your comfort zone, whether that be going to talk to someone you might think is interesting, in someone new, your brain starts making excuses. The same thing happens here. Only this time around, because if you have more than you feel like you deserve, you start So if it's money, you might start, spending more of it stupidly like that. Maybe instead of buying the normal things that you usually used to buy, you start upping your budget and buying more expensive things, buying 700 pound sneakers or shoes and suits and all of these things, and you end up wasting all of this money, and within months you will end up where you started. Self-sabotage, it can't even happen when you're dating, because you can, and I hate like scaling women, because every woman's obviously beautiful in the right eyes, so, and it's also very rude. It's a rude reminder to call someone ugly. So if you feel like you deserve maybe a girl who's a 7 or a 6 or whatever, no offense, and then you happen to maybe attend a boot camp, or in some way, shape or form you happen to land a girl who's a 9 or who's a 10, everything might be going well and all of this, but to a certain point, because you feel like that's a lot more than you deserve, you will start self-sabotaging, right? Because you feel like you don't deserve this kind of woman. And sooner or later, you will mess it up, and you will end up where you started again. Now, Tyler puts this quite well. He says, because he's also a dating coach and RSD, and he says attracting women or attracting people is not what you do. Well, it's what you do. It is what you do. But it's not necessarily a bunch of techniques that you can just pick up and, or rather lines that you can just pick up and start spitting, or the actions that you start doing, and then people will get attracted to you. It's who you are. And I said it's obviously, it is what you do, because because of who you are, you do action that you act congruent to who you are. So in a sense, your actions attract people. Your vibe, your actions, these unspoken sort of the unspoken body language that you portray is what attracts people. Your vibe, your energy, all of that. So yeah, that's where most guys go wrong when they go to these seminars and are seeking to understand how to attract women and how to get laid more and all of these things. They're trying to fix the problem outside in, sort of like a little while ago I did this video about money, about how, and I gave this example about how actors back in the day before method acting were trying to reprise roles. They were in a sense, by definition, faking what they were doing on screen, whether when they were reprising the character. For example, if they were told, if the script said maybe act angry, the character's angry and doing this and this and that. In a scene like that, when there wasn't, in a time when there wasn't method acting, the actor had to obviously act pissed and all of these things, and try to get as much body language correct as possible. But when you think about that, they try to do it outside in. So basically, they're trying to act outside, so they're trying to reprise the role outside in. So that will be a lot more mentally and physically demanding to try and get it right, because obviously you can imagine how many takes they had to do to get it right. Until a genius invented method acting, where you, instead of acting angry, you actually go out and get pissed about something, or you remember something that pisses you off. So that way you're acting outside, you're approaching the acting scene or the character inside out. So because you're already pissed inside, you don't necessarily need to worry about the body language, because it then comes effortlessly. It's congruent to the emotion you're feeling in the moment. It's congruent to the body language. It's effortless and it's believable because you're embodying it, right? And that's it. That's at the very basic level method acting. So it's the same thing here. Instead of going out there and trying, using your sheer will, exercising your will, which is a good thing, but exercising it to make more money, or land those hot chicks without actually working on what's inside, you actually have to first work on your mindset. Get yourself to a level where you feel like you're okay with yourself, you understand and love yourself the way you are, and or rather you even take that extra step of making yourself the best version of yourself, and also amping your personal philosophy to a point where you feel like you deserve everything that you get, as opposed to, you know, limiting yourself to a certain extent, saying, you know, I only deserve 5s and 6s and 7s because they're the only ones I can get, or maybe I only deserve maybe 5 grand or whatever. Accept yourself and, you know, let yourself deserve all of these things that you can get. Millions, billions or billions, however much you can make, you deserve all of that, because you do. At least in my opinion, I think. Anyway, sorry that this video is a little bit long, but there's no possible way I could have put this across without, you know, taking a little time. So anyway, hope you guys liked it. Drop a like. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you want me to talk about next, and I will subscribe as well, by the way. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.